Alrighty, let's get going. We might have some people. I know I said 2 more minutes, but that was only 1 more minute, but I'm feeling ready to go. So, well, the beginning is just me chatting anyway. So, let's get going. Welcome to our chair yoga class, part of our free Grow with GoGo series. Just a quick reminder that in addition to these classes with your membership, you can access rides, meals, groceries, medication delivery, and home services. So home services is just getting things taken care of around the house. Maybe you have a light bulb you need, or you need some clearing in the yard, whatever it is. We are here to help. And you can access these services by calling one number. That number is 855-464-6872. Also, a reminder that we have a referral code. So at the bottom of your GoGo receipts, you have a code. If you give that code to a friend, once they've taken their first service with GoGo, you will both receive $10 in credit. So just a nice win-win. Something new, so you've never seen this, so it's not a repeat. We're running a test. So we have a gift box idea where you can give some GoGo to another friend, but we need some help figuring out how we're going to do this. And so what we want is for somebody or several of you to share some of your thoughts. So someone will call you and ask some questions. And in return for a 15-minute phone call, you will receive $10 in credit that you can use as you'd like with GoGo. If you're interested in providing some feedback and talking to someone on the phone for 15 minutes, what you can do is go into the chat. So, and you can share your phone number and what times are generally convenient for you. If you want to make sure that the number only goes to us, you're going to send it to V. So if you go to the chat, there's a way when it says to, usually it says to everybody, you can put it there. Or if you prefer, you can scroll down and look for V, and next to her name, it says host. And you can send V your name, phone number, and times that might work for you. And we'll remind you of that. Oops. Oh, what happened there? We'll remind you of that at the end of class as well. So if you're interested, that would be really helpful for us. We also have a Facebook group. So moving on, we have a Facebook group. So if you want to connect on Facebook, we'll share a link in the chat so that you can continue any conversations online. All right, now to the meat of our session. Welcome to yoga. I'm Adra. If we haven't met, I teach the yoga and the functional fitness classes here at GoGo. So let's see, let's start with our, what we need. All you need is a chair. So for the yoga class, all you need is a chair. Make sure you feel comfortable, safe, steady. Does anybody remember the move of the week? This is our last move of the week for a while because I'm going out of town. And I'll remind everyone at the end of class as well. Does anyone remember the move of the week? And this was yoga. So this wasn't last week, but the week before.
Adra, this is Carol. I wasn't here, but you mentioned it last Friday, I think. Something to do with flexing your hands.
Yes, it was a forearm stretch. So
Okay.
pulling those fingers back. Thank you, Carol. And let me get a better view where we pull our fingers back. So that was the move of the week, stretching those forearms, stretching those hands. Thank you, Carol. I'm going to just have a peek at the chat because I'm seeing things are popping up. Great. Oh, and also, before we get moving to, just a quick reminder, we have our calendar in the chat of who's teaching what. I'll remind you of that at the end of class, but just know that it's there. I'm not going to go over it right now. All right, enough talking. Let's move. Stop sharing my screen. So normally I pop up as your big video. But if that's not happening, sometimes you have to adjust your own settings. So you'll just move your cursor to the top right-hand corner of your Zoom and something will pop up, this little box that says view. If you click that box, you want to make it speaker view if you want to see me nice and big. You can make it gallery view if you want to see everybody else moving with you. I'm just going to move my mic and we'll get going. So finding your seat, sits bones grounded on your chair, come a little forward away from the backrest. And allow yourself to rock a little side to side. And then grounding your sits bones so you have maybe even weight right to left. And start to draw circles with your torso. So as you draw circles with your torso, noticing maybe some tight spots, areas that feel good, areas that feel maybe sore, circle the other way. So as we move through class, just a reminder that this is your time and your practice. So if you ever need to take a break, you're welcome to do that. Come back to center. Let's do a few shoulder rolls back. And if something doesn't feel good, you should skip it. Listen to your body. There are many different bodies here today, lots of different people, and we all have different needs. Circle the other direction. And so you're in charge of listening to what you need. You can add things, you can subtract things, but make it work for you. All right, letting those shoulders drop. We'll sit nice and tall and do a little starting meditation. Feel free to close the eyes or soften your gaze to the ground. Relax the jaw and tune into your breath. Feeling the natural movement of the breath. What does your body do? How does your body breathe? And then begin to slow your breath down just for the next minute. So finding slightly longer inhales and longer exhales. And from this space, go ahead and take one hand on top of the other against your chest, against your heart. Maybe taking a few moments to notice if you can feel the movement of your breath beneath your palms. Maybe even feeling the beating of your heart. From this space, take a moment to set an intention for your practice. Maybe acknowledging what's brought you here to class. Maybe there's something you'd like to cultivate or honor. Go ahead and set that for yourself now. We'll take a deep inhale through the nose, fill the lungs. And exhale out the mouth, let it go. Release the hands and blink open the eyes. We'll inhale, open up the arms out to the side and lift the chest, stretch the front of the body. Then exhale, round your back, tuck your tail, and give yourself a hug, wrapping those arms around yourself. Inhale, lift the chest, open the arms. And exhale, tuck the tail around the back. Keep going, follow your breath. I'm just gonna show you a different view. You don't need to move. Make your way back to center. And let's reach those arms up towards the ceiling. We'll inhale, reach one arm up a little higher than the other as you bend the other elbow. And then move through center, other side. So we're side bending. I like to add the bending of one arm and straightening of the other. For some reason, that gives me this sense that I can reach further. But you could also do this with both arms staying up. You can accentuate the side bend by reaching the arm not just up towards the ceiling, but actually towards the wall, the side wall. If that's too much, stick with reaching to the ceiling. Or maybe it's somewhere in between where the wall meets the ceiling. And then make your way back to center, releasing those arms. Let's twist the spine one direction, doesn't matter which way. Go ahead and twist your spine one way and release those arms down along your leg in the chair, shoulders relaxed. Feel free to turn your head and look past that right shoulder. That might allow you to twist just a tiny bit further. Few deep breaths, noticing where your breath goes when you're in a twisted position. And then unwind and twist the other way. Rotate hands on the outside of the leg or the chair. Feel free to let your head look past your back shoulder. And come back to center. Let's move our attention to our feet. So with the toes down, we'll go into some heel raises. The toes stay down, one heel lifts, and then the other. Nice, smooth breath. So there's really no right or wrong way to breathe here. You're just letting your breath be steady and smooth. You're welcome to continue with the heel raises. Or if you'd like, you'll move into some marching, lifting one knee and then the other. And go ahead and let that go. Sitting tall, we'll go into some leg extensions, straightening one leg, bringing the foot down, and then the other, bringing the foot down. We're just alternating straightening and bending the leg. I'm going to show a side view again. You don't need to move. It's just to give you a different perspective. Just straightening and bending. A couple more times. And then we'll go ahead and straighten our right leg and lower the heel down to the ground. Make sure you're away from your backrest. So it's a little bit hard to do this having a straight right leg if you're really far back. So sit towards the front of the chair. That right leg is straight and the right heel comes down to the ground. The left knee is bent. From here, we're going to point and flex our right foot. So I'll just show you the motion with my hands too, because sometimes it can be a little hard to see what my foot is doing. So I'm flexing my foot toes up to the ceiling and pointing my foot toes down. Just pointing and flexing a couple more times. The next time your toes are facing up towards the ceiling, pause and stay there. So toes are up. You'll feel a little more opening in the back of the calf, or back of the leg. We'll inhale, lean forward with your torso. Feel maybe a little bit of stretch in the back of that right leg. And exhale, sit up, back away from the stretch. Inhale, leaning forward, feeling your stretch. And exhale, sitting up, back away. Keep going. Follow your breath. Next time you're sitting tall, pause, stay there. Or you'll hold the stretch by leaning forward, leaning on your hands. Or you can bring your left forearm to your left thigh to hold the stretch. So just finding whatever position feels good to hold the stretch for several deep, long breaths. Lift yourself back up to center, re-bend that right knee. Let your knees sway a little right and left. Before going to the other side, pause for a second. Just notice the difference right to left. So it might just feel different. Maybe one leg feels a little more grounded or a little more awake. Just notice. And then we'll switch sides. So left leg stretches out in front of us. So our right knee is bent, the left leg is straight. We'll move through the ankles. So we'll point the foot, toes reach down towards the ground, and flex the foot, toes up towards the ceiling. So moving through that ankle, pointing and flexing. No particular breath here. Just watch that your breath continues to be smooth and steady. Next time your toes are facing up towards the ceiling, you'll pause. As you inhale, lean forward, feel the stretch intensify in the back of the leg. And then exhale, sit up, back away from the stretch. So we're easing our way in. Inhale, leaning forward. Exhale, sitting tall. Keep going at your own pace. So don't worry about my speed or anybody else's. Follow your breath, your speed. And then whenever you're ready, we'll hold the stretch. So you can hold the stretch sitting tall. You can hold the stretch by bending the elbows and leaning forward. You can also hold the stretch by bringing your forearm to your thigh. Notice how the stretch changes the longer you're in it. And bring yourself back up, rebend that left knee, and windshield wiper your knees side to side, shaking it off. Okay, coming back to center, let's put our attention back to our arms. We'll interlace our fingers and then push the palms forward, stretching out the hands and the palms and the fingers. And then we'll add some movement here if it feels okay. So as you inhale, hands will reach up towards the ceiling just to go whatever height works for you. And then exhale, arms lower about chest height, and you can round your back, tuck your tail, spread the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, arms reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, arms lower, spine round. Couple more times at your own pace. Next time your arms are up towards the ceiling, pause and release the arms, let them go. We bend the elbows about 90 degrees, taking the hands in front of us like we're holding a platter. So our elbows are bent 90 degrees, hands in front of us. As you inhale, you'll keep that 90-degree bend, but we'll rotate those upper arms, reaching those thumbs towards the wall behind you. And then exhale, bring those hands forward, come back to holding that platter. Inhale, arms rotate out. So the elbows stay close to the body the whole time. Exhale, hands come closer. Keep going. Next time your arms are in the open position, go ahead and pause and hold for 3 deep breaths. And release the arms, shake them off. Letting the arms rest wherever is comfortable. We'll stretch the neck a little bit. So we'll start with just rotating the head, turning the head right and left. Just feeling the motion in the neck. And nodding the head, yes, looking up and down. And come back to center. We'll bring one ear towards the same shoulder. So ear towards the shoulder, but the shoulder stays relaxed. So it's not shoulder to ear, it's ear towards the shoulder. And center, other side, ear towards the shoulder. Back to center. One more time each side, ear to shoulder, first side. And ear to shoulder, second side. All right, and back to center. We're gonna keep working on our arms here. So let's reach those arms down alongside the body. Let the palms face whatever direction feels good. And we're going to reach those arms back behind us without moving the spine. So I'll just show a side view here. So arms go back behind us by moving the shoulders, not by doing something with the spine. And so it's just the arms reaching back. I like palms forward. That feels really nice for me. I get more stretch in the front of the chest, but you can try something else. You can try palms back, just feeling those arms going back and then bring them forward and try in a different spot. So maybe you go lower, maybe you go higher. And just do that several times. So arms go back and they go forward. So you can go at really any height. Back and forward. So you don't have to copy exactly what I'm doing. You're welcome to, of course, but just trying different spots where you can move those arms and just notice how far do your arms go without moving the spine. Just a few more times. It's fun to see what our range is here. And then we're going to reach back and stay back. Let's go anywhere that's below shoulder height. Reach back and stay back. You can stay here, or you can turn your palms and grab for your chair. If that doesn't feel good, leave your arms back without grabbing. And then you're going to let your spine move. So chest will lift. Yeah, this happened last time. Someone was like, oh, I don't like that. That means you do it with your arms back without holding onto the chair. And you can always ask questions at the end of class. You know, if something doesn't feel good, adjust it for yourself. Or ask a question at the end of class and let me know why. And then I can give you other modifications. I think this feels so nice on the chest and on the arms. All right, release those arms, shake them off. And we'll come to stand. So we'll do a little bit of standing work now. If standing is not for you, stay seated. Do a few movements seated. You can try and find similar movements in the seated position. We'll be back down in our seat in 2-3 minutes. So we're not up for long. All right, so standing all the way up. Coming behind your chair. If you can't get behind your chair, find a table, find a wall, find something to hold on to for support, for balance. From standing, we'll step the right leg back behind us, stepping it back anywhere from 1 to 3 feet back. And then we bend that front knee. 1 to 3 feet back, bend the front knee. Back heel presses down into the ground. You can stay here holding onto your chair. You can hover your hands above the chair, or you can reach those arms up towards the ceiling. Watch that if you are reaching your arms up to the ceiling, that you're actually moving through the shoulder and not through the spine. It's just different. So that you're trying to find that motion through the shoulder and not the spine. Hands come back to the chair, and we'll step forward. Back foot meets the front. Switching sides. Left foot steps back 1 to 3 feet back behind you. Back leg is straight, back heel pushes into the ground. We bend the front knee, so right knee is bent. Spine is nice and long. Hands can stay on the chair, or they hover above the chair. That way, if you need to, you can always grab back on, or arms reach up towards the ceiling. Again, try to get those arms up towards the ceiling without changing the shape of your spine. And hands come back to your chair and step forward. Back foot meets the front. Take a small step away from your support, but still close enough that you can hold on to your support. We're going to do a few chair poses, or chair pose, but we'll move in and out of it. We'll bend the knees and let the hips go back into our chair pose. You can keep holding on to your chair, or you could reach your arms forward or reach your arms by your ears. So any of those variations, fine. And then straighten the legs. So we'll go back and forth and we'll add some breathing. So we inhale, bend the knees into the chair. Feel free to keep holding on or move the arms. And then exhale, standing tall. Inhale, chair pose, bend the knees. Exhale, standing tall. Just a few more. And then coming back to center, hand back to your chair. We're going into a chair dog or an upside down L position. Walk those feet back, bring your torso parallel-ish to the ground. So it doesn't need to be perfect. If you need to, torso is up higher. If you want, knees can be bent. We're just looking for a stretch here in a couple of different places. You might feel a stretch along the sides of the arms, into your side body. Into the waist. You can also feel a stretch in the backs of the legs. So lots of different spots where you might find this. Few deep breaths. And come on up. Walk those feet forward, lift the torso. Let's come back to our chair. Coming back to seated. Let's do a wide stance. So walk those feet out nice and wide once you're in your chair. You can do this by scooching forward towards the front edge of the chair or sit further back. It really just depends on your chair. Sometimes if your legs are a little bit short, actually scooching back, oftentimes chairs are angled in this sort of dump position or this back, where the back of the chair is lower than the front of the chair. So if you have shorter legs, you can always scooch back and you might find that you'll have a little bit more support there. Otherwise, you can also stay forward and make your stance a little more narrow, and that will feel maybe a little bit more supported. From here, place those hands on your legs. You can let those shoulders creep up towards the ears and lean forward. You'll let one shoulder dip forward and rotate the spine. So I keep my arms relatively straight. Some people find that it feels better to bend. Just be kind to your shoulders. Find what works for you here. And then come to center. And then other shoulder forward, rotating the other direction. And center, one more time each side. First shoulder drops, twist. And second shoulder. And back to center, lift your torso up. Keep your legs nice and wide. And I'll mirror you here. We'll lean to the right. So the right hand can rest on your knee or thigh. You could also bend that right elbow. Or you can bring the right forearm to your thigh or to an armrest if you have one. We're looking for a side stretch. So you'll keep your hips grounded and that free arm, that left arm can stay down. It can reach out to the side up towards the ceiling or all the way overhead. So finding whatever position feels comfortable and good here. So you can also move your arms. So if you want to find motion while you're here, you can, or be still. So just reminding yourself, this is your time and your practice. So adjust so that it feels interesting. There are days where we want more stillness. There are days where we want more movement. And you can get so much benefit too from the stretch without even having the arm up. So if the shoulder is bothering you, just keep the arm down. All right, let's come back to center. Whew. And we'll go to the other side. So leaning to the other side, hand can stay on your thigh, or you can bend your elbow, forearm can find an armrest, or forearm can find your leg. Your hips are grounded. Your free arm can stay down, can reach out to the side, can reach up, or all the way overhead. And again, you can be still in any of these positions, or you can move. Find whatever works for you. And this side might be completely different from the first side. So just acknowledging that, honoring that this is a new side. It needs its own thing. And come on up. Whew. And walk those feet back towards each other. All right, we're gonna go into our figure 4 stretch. So right ankle, we have lots of options. Right ankle can cross over the left ankle and you can let the knee open out to the side. Make sure that your knee actually opens to the side. We wanna get a little rotation here. Other option would be to cross that right thigh on top of the left, just like you're normally crossing your legs. Third option is to cross your ankle over your thigh, letting the knee go out to the side. I'm sorry I'm wearing black today. It's really hard to see, but I'm essentially in this kind of figure 4 position, but seated. If you're aiming towards this more figure 4 position, but it's a little bit challenging, I suggest you sit up onto something higher. So maybe you can throw some pillows underneath your hips or a big textbook or phone book, something thick underneath you. If this is feeling relatively easy, notice your bottom leg and notice if your bottom leg is at an angle. To make it more challenging, you want that bottom leg vertical, straight up and down, so that the knee, that left knee, is directly over the ankle. No matter which variation you're in, you can stay where you are still, or take some circles with your torso. These can be as small or as big as you'd like. Circle the other way. And then finding stillness in whatever position feels good to you. So that could be sitting tall, that could be leaning forward, leaning to one side. We'll hold for 3 or 4 deep breaths. All right, coming up under the legs, shake them off. Woo. Then let's switch sides. So other ankle crosses over. So left ankle over the right if you're following me. Knee can open out to the side. That's option 1. Option 2, you're just crossing your legs. Option 3, you're crossing your ankle over your thigh or knee. Again, feeling free to add some cushioning underneath you or playing with the angle of your supporting leg to get the right amount of challenge. Sitting as tall as you can with whatever variation you're in. Let's just pause there for a few moments. And then if you'd like, start to find some motion, finding some circles with the torso, noticing how the stretch changes as you move. Circle the other way if you haven't. And then finding stillness in whatever position feels good or interesting to your body. And then go ahead and lift yourself back up. Undo those legs, shake them off. And planting those feet, sitting nice and tall. We'll inhale, circle the arms out to the side and up towards the ceiling. Palms touch, hands lower towards the heart. 2 more times. Inhale, arms circle out and up. Exhale, hands to the heart. 1 more. Inhale, arms circle out and up. Hands to the heart. Pausing once they reach there. Closing the eyes or softening your gaze to the ground. Pause for a moment and thank yourself for taking time to take care of your mind and your body. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. So wonderful to have you as always. Before I open it up for questions, just a few reminders. So no move of the week because I'm going away for a little bit, and that just complicates things. However, classes will still be happening. I'm going to share my screen, but we have also in the chat, you can find a picture of this. Oh, you know what? I can't share. That's okay. Never mind. So today is the 2nd. We did chair yoga. Friday will also be chair yoga. Caro will be teaching. She's a wonderful teacher. You'll love her. And then on Wednesday, the 9th, so next week, also Caro, she'll be teaching chair yoga. And then there will be no class on Friday the 11th. And then I will be here on Wednesday the 16th. We'll do functional fitness. Then on the 18th, Friday the 18th, Carol will teach chair yoga. And then we'll be back to our regular schedule. I'm traveling, and so it's just a little, that's the way it's going to be for a little bit. Please come to our class. She's really great and really fun. Also, V has also shared in the chat just the reminder that if you want to help us out and get $10 in credit for giving some feedback on a new idea, that you should just share your phone number and times that work for you in the chat, and you can share it directly with V as well by you can do sort of a drop down in the chat. It says to, and there's a name. You can send it directly to V if you don't want it up to the group. Okay, that was a lot of things. Now the floor is yours. So if you have questions, if something didn't work for you, or yeah, any questions about class, so yoga or functional fitness, not about GoGo, unless it's about the things I just talked about. If you have GoGo specific things, email GoGo. I usually have no idea what the answer is. Hi, Barbara.
Yes. Are there still ways to do this on YouTube also, or does that still happen?
Yep, same place as before. You just go to the YouTube channel. Usually in your invite, you get a link to it as well. And you can find all of these videos. It takes maybe a week or two before the most recent video shows up, or that's the delay.
But it's ongoing, so you can go on at any time. Great.
Yep.
Have a wonderful vacation.
Thank you, I will. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Now is your time. You don't have to. And of course, if you're ready to go, you don't have to hang out. You can pop off, but I will stay here for a little bit.
Adra, this is Carol. I hope you have a wonderful trip and a safe trip, and we will miss you and wait for you to come back.
Thanks, Carol. I'll miss all of you as well. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful vacation. And thank you
Thank-
for everything you've done.
Thank you, Joel. I'm seeing hearts and claps. Thanks, everyone. I will see you again. Don't worry. I'll be back.
Did I miss the practice exercise or was there one?
No exercise, just because I'm traveling, it's complicated. I don't want to have Caro do that. So we're gonna do no moves of the week. Just move your body. I will let you go. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you again on the 16th. Enjoy Caro, and have a look at the calendar, just noting that it's mostly yoga happening, not functional fitness. All right, bye everybody.